Many English learners think they need a classroom or a teacher to really improve their speaking. But in real life, English doesn't wait for a lesson. It happens in the small moments, in a coffee shop, on the street, or even in a line at the metro. These short, simple conversations are what build real confidence. The problem is, most learners feel too nervous to start. They think their grammar has to be perfect or their accent has to be native. But in truth, none of that matters as much as trying. One of the best ways to learn English naturally is through stories. Not textbook stories, but realistic ones, full of the kind of English people actually use. Stories show how to ask questions, how to respond, and how to turn a moment into a real conversation. When you hear language in context, it sticks better. You remember the words, not just what they mean, but how they feel. If you want to improve your English with real, meaningful stories that help you grow step by step, don't forget to like this video, leave a comment, and subscribe to RealSpeak. We post new videos every single day to help you learn through honest, everyday moments. Naomi had lived in the city for almost a year, but she still didn't feel like she belonged. She spoke English well enough, she had studied it for years, but when it came to starting conversations, she always hesitated. It wasn't about vocabulary. It was about courage. So she stuck to the basics: work, home, grocery store, and back again. The same routine, the same silences. But that changed one Monday morning. She was running late for work and arrived at the metro station just as a long line was forming. The train was delayed, and people were waiting near the edge of the platform, tired and quiet. Naomi joined the line and sighed. She glanced to her right and saw a woman about her age holding a tote bag with a design she recognized, an old book cover of one of her favorite novels. Naomi smiled to herself. Then, without thinking too much, she turned slightly and said, "I love that book. I haven't seen that cover in years." The woman looked at her, surprised, then smiled. "Really? Most people don't even know what it is." "It's one of my favorites," Naomi said. "The last chapter still makes me cry." They both laughed quietly. The train still hadn't arrived. The platform was growing more crowded, but the space between the two of them suddenly felt lighter. "I'm Naomi," she said. "I'm Claire," the woman replied. "Nice to meet you." They chatted for a few minutes. Naomi learned that Claire worked as an editor, and lived on the other side of the city. They had different jobs, different neighborhoods, different schedules, but in that moment, none of that mattered. The train finally arrived, and people began to move. Naomi looked at Claire and said, "Are you getting on this one?" Claire shook her head. "Nope, I'm heading the other way. But I'm glad we talked." Naomi hesitated. Then said, "Maybe we could grab coffee sometime? Talk more about books?" Claire smiled. "I'd like that." They exchanged numbers quickly before the crowd pulled them apart. Naomi stepped onto the train, feeling something unexpected: energy. It wasn't just a nice moment, it was a reminder. She could speak. She could connect. All it took was one sentence. Over the next weeks, Naomi and Claire met a few times for coffee. They talked about books, writing, and city life. Naomi felt more comfortable each time. She didn't worry so much about grammar or pronunciation. She just spoke. And that made all the difference. In today's story, you learned useful phrases like, joined the line, glanced to her right, recognized the design, without thinking too much, felt lighter, chatted for a few minutes, stepped onto the train, and pulled them apart. These are everyday expressions that help you describe small, real moments clearly. You also learned that connection can happen even when people are going in different directions. Claire and Naomi didn't share the same path, but they shared a moment. And that's enough to start something new. We upload new stories every day to help you improve your English naturally. If you like this one, please like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to RealSpeak. See you in the next video.